This is gonna be my criteria for ranking them. If I saw all three of them going live about the same topic at the same time, mm, who would I watch? That's how I'm gonna rank them. If I saw all three of them on live, whose channel would I click on first? Whose channel would I click on second? And whose channel would I click on third? Who and because I'll probably watch all three, but which one would I watch first, second, and third? Um, man, should I break the categories up? No, no matter what, if it's just about the topic, because his show got different segments, but when it gets to that topic, I'm listening to. Welcome to Johnny America. These are the three YouTubers on my Mount Rushmore who represent black men better than anyone in the game right now. We got Anton Daniels, Coach Greg Adams, and the Angryman. These three guys are on my Mount Rushmore because they have all played a major part in my life. Tonight, I'm going to tell you why these three YouTubers matter and what makes them the GOATs on my list. And I know it's supposed to be 4 people on the Mount Rushmore, but I try and I only could put these 3 at the top. So you tell me in the comments, do you have a 4th one that will add to my list, or is there somebody I should remove off this list and add somebody else to the Mount Rushmore list? Or do you even know these guys? Have you ever listened to any of these content creators? Tell me in the comments. Let me know if you've listened to any of these content creators. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I need you to subscribe right now. Turn your phone sideways or vertically and hit that subscribe button for me. Help a brother out. Why don't you? For real. We need you to do that here. So that's your one job to do. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which one of these content creators is your favorite, if they are your favorite, or if you have a whole different content creator. Let's just share ideas, and I'm going to review your people, and I'll tell you if your people make my list, then you know you should be subscribed to me because we're like-minded. All right, so here we go. Okay, now in this clip, this is the video that he did last week. It's called The Loneliness Epidemic. And he's playing this clip of this young lady who's talking about men are so lonely now, right? And I'll let it play and we'll talk throughout it. Here we go.
Minds around how these people were able to socialize and also siphon energy from the socialization and fun that was happening in front of them, rather than even talking to each other and trying to build bonds with one another. They were so in awe at the performance of humanity, and it really reflected how long they had gone without it. So the other night I went to a function and I realized a lot of what.
Let me set the scene up a little bit. So what she's talking about, this girl was talking about the loneliness thing. Like, oh, these guys are all at the club on one side, not even talking to the girls. They're just kind of looking at the girls and gazing at them, but not really talking to them. Weird. I'll be the last person to say that the young men nowadays aren't weird, but that's kind of weird. Whatever. My day, yeah, you approached women, but also we had reasons why we could, and it wasn't this weird thing of like women act like they don't want you to talk to them. Back in my day, they wanted you to talk to them and you wanted to talk to them, and therefore you knowing that they wanted you to talk to them and vice versa, it was like easier and more chill, more relaxed, not this we hate men and we hate women type. No, it wasn't that. So here we go. Let's hear what Angryman says about this.
Now, that right there is by far the dumbest I have ever heard a person say in life. I have never witnessed that level of stupidity. At no point in her incoherent rambling was she anywhere close to a right answer. Every one of you in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award her no points, and may God have mercy on her soul. Shout out to Billy Madison. Um, Raw says she sounds so dry, like she siphoned the energy out of me. Oh my God. And that's the irony of it. That's the very first observation that I made is she's actually accusing men of their lack of humanity. And nowhere in what she was saying did I see any humanity. The way she was talking was very robotic, very dry, as Raw just put it. There was no humanity in what she was saying. But here's the reality. First of all, the behavior she described as it pertained to the men at that party is typical male behavior. Men have always functioned like that. Always. You know, I don't know what men did in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, but in the 80s and 90s, if you went to a party, most of the men would be standing up against the wall, observing. You feel me? Observing and watching everybody, you know, trying to
This is true. What he's saying is true. He's gonna go further into it, but I'm gonna quickly add that yeah, when we used to go to parties and clubs, I said it was easy, but like yeah, the guys were over there standing watching. The guys were over there standing and watching the women, and then eventually you started dancing and having fun together. But it kind of always started off a little standoffish, to be fair.
in where they fit in, right? The only difference today is back in the day, eventually the men would walk over and start talking to the women.
See,
Today, they're not doing that, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Ma'am, if you're watching this, ma'am, the reason that the men are reserving themselves to just stand around and watch instead of interacting with you is because over the past 30 years, you have proved nothing short of the fact that you hate their guts. So they're not going to walk up to you and start talking to you out of fear of you taking the opportunity to try to embarrass them or belittle them for having the nerve to even speak to your trifling behind. So that's part of the reason why the men are standing around not saying anything. They're standing around not saying anything because that's what men do. The second half of that is they're not approaching you because you're hateful as shit. You're hateful, and they don't want to subject themselves to your dehumanization of them. That's the other funny thing. You're talking about men not having any humanity. No, they have plenty of humanity. The problem is you refuse to recognize their humanity. You refuse to recognize their humanity the same way the world refuses to recognize their humanity, which is part of the reason why they don't want to interact with you anymore. Because they're sick of being treated a certain way whenever they do attempt to interact with you.
this is what I mean by him. The man just is intellectually smart. He says a lot of things that just think about that. The reason why the young men won't go over there and talk to the women is because they have been browbeaten to death. They feel like if I go over there, they're gonna try to record me, show their girls that he tried to talk to me. Ha ha! I told him no, get out of here. I want my girls to try to ignore you or do something just disrespectful. That is the culture nowadays. The young people, I would say from 18 to 30, that's how they want to treat you when you go out right now. Trust me. Like I know. Like that's how it is. So it's almost it's so hard and it's so hard for you to find that needle. There'll be one girl to be like, "Well, I don't do guys like that." Yeah, well, it's so hard to find you. And then not only is it so hard to find you, you're only not that way when the guy that you 100% want to come talk to you, to come talk to you. And then you're like, "Oh, I treated him. I just accepted it, and I da da da." Yeah, well, that's not most people's experience because there is a high level of misandry in the country right now. Let's just keep it a stack. Let's be real. Like that's what's going on. There's a lot of man hate right now. They just hate men. Like even on the liberal side of things, like the liberal women do not like the liberal men. I mean, I can see why, but just saying, like they don't like them. So it's just that's just going on everywhere. So Let's let them keep cooking.
That you would have a bunch of women on the dance floor interacting with each other. That's typically what women do. You're more social than we are. And there's a reason why you're more social than we are. Back in the day when we were hunter-gatherers, the men would get up in the morning and they would go out to hunt. The women would remain in the village with each other, and they had to interact with each other because it was their duty to look after the children in the village and interact with each other. When the men were out hunting, guess what you have to do when you're hunting? You have to be quiet. This is the reason why men can go out fishing together and they can sit on a boat with each other, saying very little and having very little conversation and be in complete enjoyment. Because historically, that's how we operate. Men.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Bro, be cooking with hot, fresh grease. Tell me that's not a fact. Tell me that's not a fact. Tell me that as a man, you can't be at peace with just yourself. Like there's certain times when I go to San Juan, I go fishing, and there's this one captain of his boat. I call him every time. He take me out, get some good fish, same price every time. I just text him now, like, hey, I'll be out there, blah, 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 in 2 weeks. Can you sign me up? He be like, yep. Saturday morning, 6 a.m. I go out there and go fishing with him. And it's just like, we're quiet the whole time. He was like, how's everything been going, man? We talk a little bit as we're riding out there. Everything good. But once we get out in the middle of that ocean, we set steady. Won't be talking. We be fishing. I might have some earphones on. And matter of fact, I'm either listening to CGA, Anton, or Angryman. That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting there with my earphones on, just chilling, listening, vibing, or listen to an audiobook or something like that. But men don't need to talk like that. Men don't talk like that. Perfectly fine. Hunting, just that's why men love to go hunt. It's just little signal here. They see something. You know what I mean? It's chill. Men don't need all that. Women ain't like that. And it's okay. I'm not bashing women or men. We're just different. And I'm just trying to tell people that that's what these guys are doing. They show you that we're just different.
Would go out to hunt, and while they're out hunting, they have to be quiet because they would run the animals away if they started talking. This is part of where stoicism comes from. So men typically are not going to talk as much as women. We're not going to interact as much as women, which really doesn't make a difference because even if we did interact with women or each other, let's say that men were just as social with each other as women are with each other. You know what would happen? You would start calling them gay. Do you know how I know that? Because you've already been doing it. You've already been doing it. Every single time I've seen a video where a woman talks about her man spending too much time with his friends, she's always accused him of liking men. So this idea that men don't have any humanity because they can't relate to anyone is bullshit. They can't relate to you. They can relate to other guys. And sometimes relating to other guys is standing around not really saying much.
That's a fact. Sometimes that's what it is. Like standing around like, what's up? What's up? You good? Good. I don't see my boy, my main homeboy. I don't see this dude maybe once every 2 years or something. But when we see each other, we're like, oh, we need to link up. Yeah, let's go out and get a drink. We go get a drink. We just chilling. Won't even be talking that much. It ain't like, man, I ain't get a chance to tell you that. We just be chilling a lot of times. Chilling.
To mention the fact that a lot of times when we're in the company of women, we don't say much. When you guys are not around, we talk a lot to each other. Why do we do that? Because you're a bunch of jerks. Whenever we start talking amongst ourselves, you butt into the conversation and want to be part of the damn conversation. Anytime a man creates a space for other men, here you come, trying to transform it into a woman's space. So the fact that you're sitting there looking like a dude yourself, looking like you got scribble scrabble on your chin, looking like you got a whole beard, talking about this is the only way men know how to interact. It's pathetic. And I'm going to tell you why it's pathetic. It's pathetic because ever since Kevin Samuels said on the internet that you guys were going to die alone, ever since then, you have been trying to project that shit back onto us. Because ironically, you weren't saying anything about a male loneliness epidemic before Kevin Samuels said that. After he said it, here you come with, oh, the problem is you men have a male loneliness epidemic. No, there's no male loneliness epidemic. There's a female loneliness epidemic right now. And you're trying to deflect and hide that shit by saying the men are the ones that are lonely. No, we're not. In fact, most.
I just want you to stick around for where he takes this to next. When he's rolling like this, bruh be on like it's like he's being somebody is giving him these words from above because first of all they're true. You can say they're not true, but they are. They're factual. But he takes this to another level just with facts and makes you think like, yeah, why was we believing this other stuff? Sometimes we believe the report And the report ain't true.
Men are happy when they're alone. Most men are happy when they're by themselves. And the reason why is because they can be at peace. Whenever they're around other people, they always have expectations of you. Whenever you're around other people, they want you to fix something. They want you to pay for something. They want you to build something. They want you to help them with something. In a lot of cases, men are happy when they're by themselves because nobody's demanding anything of them. It's you that is lonely. It's you that when you're not in a relationship, you got to have 10 homegirls to hang around all the time. It's you that has to go get a cat or a dog just to feel some sort of companionship. Not us, sister. So I don't know what you're talking about in that video. I have absolutely no idea.
Chill, Angry Man. God. Yeah. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. It is them. It's you who they gotta hang out with all their friends. They need a dog. They need a cat. Da 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 da. The male loneliness epidemic by Angryman. So that's what I'm talking about. It's your boy Angryman. That's why he's one of the GOATs right now. Not from what he said 10 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. It's what he said this week. And dude be cooking like that all the time. Do me a favor, if you go to his channel, give me a shout out. Say, Johnny America sent me over here. Johnny America's video sent me over here just to show him respect for me. Much respect, Angryman. Shout out to you. Fair use, by the way. Don't at me, bruh. Anton Daniels is Detroit born and raised. Grew up right on the west side, not far from me. I've had the pleasure of meeting Anton at least 3 different times. I had coaching calls with this man. He probably don't even remember. He gave me confidence to do something that I never thought I could do, and that was being a business owner and a high earner on the W-2 side, being able to do my own taxes and control my write-offs. And I asked him in a coaching call, I'm like, well, where do I go? I can't find a tax person to do my taxes for me. Where do I go to do that? Who do I get to do it? And he was like, you. I was like, huh? And he was like, you do it. And he don't know what that did. Like, just telling me that, he boosted my confidence. Like, I could do it. And I do my own taxes. And it gives me control because I was struggling trying to find the right tax people. So anyway, that's just a little thing to some, but it was a big thing to me. He put that confidence in me. So this man, like I said, Detroit born and raised. He's always around the city. Big time Pistons fan. I don't know when he gonna get on the Lions, season tickets. I got the season tickets. I'm on the 10th row. What up? He's a Deca millionaire. He plans to be a billionaire, and I'm here for it. My man got all the whips that I want. Part of my inspiration in my Porsche, the attraction to the Porsche game was from him. But most of the time, he's just making good content, business-related content, news-related content, politics-related content from a conservative viewpoint. He makes good stuff. I like his content. I watch him a lot. Anton Daniels is the GOAT. We got some content right here from him. This one is called, this is the young lady talking about she's boycotting. And he does a lot of review content. When he's doing that, I like that. So here we go. Let's go with Anton.
So I got something to say. I feel like if they're gonna be cutting the EBT on the first, we should be boycotting. Okay? I feel like they always showing niggas like we are the only people on food stamps, which is not true. And some of y'all don't like talking about these topics because you feel like they're taboo. Not to me. I do whatever the hell I want. I say what I want. I speak my mind because I feel like I have to stay true to myself. And I feel like why would we create situations where it's inhumane when we would create situations where people could be starving? And a lot of people be like, oh, you can go to a church or this and the third. And not to disrespect church, because people from churches, they be having good hearts. But a lot of that food is not healthy. And we all know that healthy food is expensive. Now, a lot of people will say, well, they shouldn't be on no government program. Bitch, you know what? If you so motherfucking rich, why the fuck is everybody faking it to make it? Then, here's my other issue. Y'all be like, oh, they shouldn't be on these programs. Woo. Well, guess what? They price gouge every fucking thing. Everything is so goddamn high. Everything. Some people, the only thing they
Why are black women's mouths so potty?
Facts. I don't know. But you know what? That was hard to go through. Just listen to her. But that's how his content is. It's mostly he lets the person that he's reviewing talk all the way through for the most part. For the most part. And then he'll respond. So that's something I gotta learn to do because when I do review stuff, it's like in the first 3 words, I'm cutting it off like, so I'll let him get to it. But yeah, her mouth was very potty mouth. And a lot of black women mouths do be potty mouths. Like, and I'm not dogging y'all, just like maybe y'all can tone that down a little bit. Not for us, but for
It's
you.
like
Do it for you.
an attraction of potty mouth with almost every single black woman video that y'all send me. Everything is motherfucking and bitch, and it's like y'all don't know how to put together proper sentences without cursing every single time that you open up your mouth and thirst trapping.
ain't got money to cover maybe they rent and they ain't got it for they ain't got no budget for everything else because the cost of living is high. So why the fuck do they have to suffer? Like, we should have free health care. There's a lot of things that
Free
need to be
healthcare.
changed. We don't need programs. We need the world to adjust to being realistic. And I hate people who lack integrity because they'll be like, oh, it's not my problem. It's not until it is, until they on your ass. And then you gonna want somebody to have your back. No. If y'all just would stand for something, everything wouldn't be an issue.
Can I can I just say like so when they be on let's just say tables turned and they was on my back, y- who's gonna be there for me again? Like who? Y'all? Y'all. The people with food stamps, I guess is what she's talking about, will be there for me if I needed help. How? How and you can't even be there for yourself? How? I'm confused. I just don't get what she's trying to say. People just be saying stupid stuff on TikTok and YouTube or whatever. They just make up anything and like, what? What are you talking about?
We don't need to
That
be
doesn't even make
sensitive
sense.
about bullshit. We need to be realistic about real shit. And that's why
What are y'all boycotting this time? What are you boycotting?
Nothing.
So on November 1st, you want to boycott because y'all not getting something free from the government, which is really taxpayer dollars. And y'all don't even know how to communicate effectively. And so y'all get on here and y'all, you know what I'm saying? You get tank tops and you want to try to rile people up to do what? What is it that y'all boycotting this time? What are y'all trying to communicate? What do you
Here's a better question, just on the concept of boycotting or the whole SNAP issue at all. Like, where are the boycotters, by the way? I've seen marches for uh George Floyd. I've seen marches for um ICE. I've seen marches against ICE. I've seen marches against Trump and the No Kings. I've seen marches for a lot of stuff that is kind of, on the grand scheme of things, not as serious as 42 million people not getting their stamps. So, my question is, I've been hearing black women saying that they're gonna go in the stores and take their stuff and da 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 da. And I've been hearing white women with their complaints. They haven't said they're gonna go in the stores and take nothing, but one thing about black people, they talk a whole lot more than what they do. So it's not. Don't take that as a real threat when they say, "Oh, we're gonna break in the store." Don't believe them. They ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, it might be 2 or 3 people, but they're not as brave as what they talk like. Okay, don't ever worry about that. It's a very scary group of people. They don't do a lot. So that being said, but yeah, nobody's marching. We're every time I see these marches like in Chicago, no kings, da da da. First of all, I always say like this looks like a bunch of teachers. It looks like a teachers union march. Like that's what it looked like. Teachers and teamsters and stuff like that. Like these people, that's what these people look like when they're out there marching. But where are they at marching for y'all to get food? Ironically, they don't find this as a marchable reason. Everybody knows Trump's going to end up fixing it and getting you guys your stamps. But like, why ain't they marching about this? It's just silence. They don't care. Y'all on your own. This your team. This your team. The Democrats. These are the people who you rocking with, who got your back. They ain't saying nothing. They saying something. I'm sorry. They are saying something, but they ain't doing nothing. Where's the marches? Where's the people that drop off the that drop off the fake signs and stuff for y'all and the bricks? Where they at? They don't care, do they? They don't even care. Watch Trump fix it, and then the Democrats gonna try to take credit for it. But anyway,
Need from the federal
we'll
government
just
to
let this
help
continue.
you. I was watching a video today, and the person was talking about natural selection. And maybe it popped up on my algorithm because I spent so much time watching animal videos. And in animal videos, they go on these safaris, and I watch these channels where they basically record and showcase what happens in the wild in these habitats that's basically protected away from humans from being able to clear it out and build on it because they want animals to basically be able to operate the way that they want to operate, whether you're in Australia or Africa, or whatever, right? And a lot of times, if you look in the comments of those videos, the people will be mad, like, why didn't they help the deer? Why didn't they help the whatever, the monkey, the alligator, the lion, or whatever is dying, right? Sometimes the lions get kicked out of the pride, or when it's new lions that come into the pride, they kill all of the children, and so that's just the way it happens in the animal kingdom naturally. Wild dogs are some of the most vicious creatures within the animal kingdom, right? And so they
Bruh, I'm gonna be 1000% honest. This is where I would click off his video because to me he's rambling and going on and on. And I do the same thing, I know. So I don't blame some of y'all for clicking off my video, but I'm gonna get better at it. But I'm gonna try to finish this and
ask
hopefully
these
he lands
questions a
this
lot of
plane.
times where it was supposed to be a benefit, a temporary assistance for people, not a permanent handout for people to tie themselves to the federal government via other people's tax dollars, right? And so now what we are experiencing is not being able to truly observe who thrives and who survives in natural selection. Most of these people, because they have no intuition, they have no get up, they have no drive. We've let women now come in and tell us what we should and shouldn't do. They have the microphones, and we have freedom of speech. And so, because we have freedom of speech, but they're so protected, it's easy for somebody to get up here and tell you what you should and shouldn't do.
Okay, that was enough of Brother Anton. He makes great content. He's at the top of the game by far. He's got so many subscribers on all multiple platforms. He is really killing it. Like I said, Deca millionaire, got money, got bread, from Detroit, reachable, easy to talk to, cool guy, inspiration by far. Y'all go give him a follow, leave a comment in his videos and say, hey, I found you through Johnny America. And now we got to bring y'all to CGA. And I'm going to just tell you, CGA 1000% had a huge impact on my life. I probably started watching CGA, what is this, 2025? Maybe like 2018, 2017. My man used to live in his car. He got divorced and ended up living in his car. It was by choice, he said. It was by his choice. He had to make a decision. Like, if I'm gonna either cut all this stuff out of my life and just start over. And that was his plan. He lived in his car. He grinded his way out. My man he's got to be at millionaire status right now. He ain't gonna say that. Pretty sure Porsche 911 owner also. He like Anton and like myself, he also is a he gives advice to black men, all men really. His show is not about just black men, it's about all men. Although, black men tend to only watch black content, and white men tend to only watch white content. Now take that out. I'll say that he just makes content for all men, and whoever wants to watch it just watches it. For me, if it resonates, then I watch it. If it doesn't resonate, then I don't watch it. You know, what you're saying has to resonate with me. Now, CGA is funny as F. And just so you know, they call him Coach Greg Adams, but he's not saying he's some dating coach guru or whatever. That just happened to be his name because his career before getting on YouTube, he was a women's basketball coach, a high school level and a college level, Division II, and maybe a little Division I. Was a fitness coach and a fitness coach, and then he got into the YouTube from that. He's been in the game for a long time. He talked about how it was when he would record himself back in the day, and people would be like, "Are you recording yourself?" And it was so weird. But now look, everybody doing it. This man he's got 1,000 nicknames, and all of them stick. Coach Stradamus, because he literally speaks things ahead of time. I've been listening to him for years, and I'm telling you, he's ahead of most things. Bruh don't miss with what he say. Now, his show can be silly at times because he don't want it to be silly, but he says like, you almost gotta be silly, you know, to entertain these people. You gotta entertain them a little bit while you're educating them a little bit, if that makes sense. So he does that a lot, and at times that's when it could be like, Angryman is a little more serious, but the same style content. So, and he's even had Angryman on the show a long time ago. I was around all the way back then when he brought him onto his show. He turned me on to Angryman. And that's another thing about him. He's not selfish. He's not selfish like that. Like he pretty much stays in his own lane, but you know, he'll give, you know, proper respect to people who came before him. I remember back, before Kevin Samuels even got big, Kevin Samuels used to be in the super chat with us. He used to be in the super chat saying stuff to CGA, like showing love all the way back then. Like before Kevin Samuels even got big, Kevin Samuels, I hate to say it, you've heard it before, Kevin Samuels stole a lot of his ideas and content and ideology from him. And I don't want to say he stole it, but he definitely got a lot of it from him. Like he got a lot of it from him. I just talked about how I borrow too. We all gonna repeat the same stuff. It's natural, especially when it's good stuff. And this guy, CGA, one of the best. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Definitely subscribe to his channel. Definitely tell him Johnny America sent you, and you're gonna see like, whoa, bruh be going in. Now he got some segments of his show. Everything he says and does, I feel like as a person that's been watching him for years, I get it. I get everything he's doing, but sometimes I do wonder is what the new watcher would think, because they don't know like all the drops, you know, like what happened? Where's all the good men? That drop, or and that's you, that drop, or I got money. All those different drops he do. I know why everyone is, you know, where they came from, the original video. In them streets. Like all those drops. That's CGA, and you had to have been there to know it, you know. So I don't know how people get it, but he tied in so good. And this man is a one-man band, just like pushing buttons the whole time. Pretty much every one of his shows is a live show. He is killing it. Incredibly talented, he's funny as ever. Had me cracking up. He got some bits that he's done that has been hilarious, boy. When that, like, for example, he was one of them was Tamika told me. If you know, you know. If you watch CGA and you really know about CGA, when I say Tamika told me, you know which one that is. If you know it, hit it in the comments. Let me know what that was from. But this man got some content, and on top of that, he teaches men to get about that life. Get about your money, and then you can have more leverage with women, and you can choose what woman you want. If you don't want this type of woman, don't be with this type of woman. Don't just settle for this type of woman because you ain't got your money together. Get your money up. He teaches the same thing. He teaches the same thing about provision for women, because you have the authority. You should be providing. Not the other way around. Not this 50-50 stuff. Not this tippy-toe stuff. This guy teaches men how to be men. He even goes into dating and where to find women. And he said you can either understand women or love women, but you can't do both. That's his saying. You know, he has the whole free agent lifestyle, living his life, about being single as a man, traveling. His ideals made me balloon out my life even bigger, like grow it and want to expand and be the best me that I could be 1000% because of this guy right here. Like, talking about him, I don't need no talking about CGA, I don't need my notes. I don't need none of that, because the dude is that dude. I wish every man could go back 6-7 years ago and listen to his content all the way to right now. Like, that's what I wish. He got content too. This man be doing 3, 4, 5 hour live streams every day for years. I mean, he'd take random. He probably took off 10 days in 7 years. And he'd do it. He out of town. He on vacation. He's still gonna do a show, even if it's a short show. He gonna do a show. So CGA, one of the best. I don't even know what clip this is. I see the clip and I see the words. Now it's gonna be some words I'm gonna have to beep out because I'm not monetized. Like, he's the 12-time demonetized champion, by the way, because he continues to get demonetized. But here we go. Let's get it rocking and rolling with CGA. Enjoy.
Up. This tends to be the longer part of the segment because there's so much to report here. Feminism has been dead. All right. I've rang the bell on feminism, and I told you feminism will die a miserable death once the economy starts shifting. Once it becomes apparent that people can't survive off of one income, women are going to pivot. All right. And women will naturally pivot. All of a sudden, these strong, independent, most educated women turn to de-evolve themselves to sell pussy. Right. So what we got here, shout out to Newski here. Here's a woman that says with a bull, this is a white liberal woman. All right. A white liberal women scare me. I cannot stand.
Where the white women at?
I can't stand white liberal women. I like white women, but
Hey, where are the white women
white
at?
liberal women, and typically black men, you're going to get with a white liberal woman. Very rarely are you going to get with a conservative white woman. All right. Unfortunately, white liberal women are attracted to niggas, especially basketball playing niggas and low grade niggas. All right, you're going to get with, you got to know the difference between the white women you're dealing with. And very rarely are you going to get with a conservative white woman unless it's just the fuck. All right. It's rarely she likes a 6'5" with a blue eyes. But what does this white liberal woman realize that she's stuck in the hole of feminism? She says right here, you're going to hear a lot of this anti-capitalism talk. Let's hear what she has to say. Our basic human needs are.
Let me just pause. Yo, CGA definitely, his mouth be crazy. He be cussing and everything. He definitely cuss a lot. So I'm gonna try to beep out a lot of it. But he does this a lot of different segments where he uses people's reactions. He react to people, react to women saying different things, and he just react to it.
Paywalled.
Is so normalized in our society that people do not even realize that the concept of having to get a job, go and work every single day just to put food on the table, just to be able to put a roof over your head, means that your basic needs of survival are paywalled.
Really? Really? All right.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
What she's saying is we should have the basic human needs given to us. We shouldn't have to work to get those basic human needs. There goes feminism. All right, there goes feminism. Isn't this why you wanted a job?
What did you think? Your sugar daddy, your husband was going to give you the basic human needs and you were going to work and go keep your little money? What did you think? What would you think you were supposed to work for? That's what you work for, to pay the bills, nigga. Like, what?
Your rent's due, motherfucker.
All right, let's hear.
Oh god. Even that one. Your rent's due, mother. That's from what is that? That's from Coming to America. But yeah, see the point he brought it out? Like, feminism said you wanted to work and you should be able to work too, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, so we're like, okay, fine, fine, fine. You get to work. Women, you want to work, you get to work. Now let's just keep it real. We never, and I've been saying this, you never heard so much. Tell me when you heard in the 80s work-life balance. Or when did you ever hear in the 80s, you shouldn't have to work just to keep a roof over your head and buy food? When did you hear, uh, all work and no play, you still have to have a life too, blah, blah, blah. They only started saying that when they got in the workforce, just on a large scale. Let's just keep it real. And I'd have nothing against women. So all my women followers, just hold on to your seats for a second. We like to keep it real over here, no matter who it's coming after. If it's coming after my people or your people, it don't matter. But there were never those terms and phrases. Nobody cared about work-life balance. We just worked and worked and worked and worked. Being a Gen Xer, I've lived through multiple phases of life, so I see the changes. If you're a millennial or younger, you don't know that people weren't saying this stuff. But it's a part of like a social campaign, social drip campaign, constantly dripping on you that women want to be in the workforce. And then they got in the workforce and now they don't want to work. And they're saying that we work too hard and it's too much and it's too da 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 da. And there's people stressed and they're depressed and they're on medicines and medications and blah, blah, blah. And I just think that smarter people than you and me knew that that would happen and knew that the society would turn into the mess of the society that we live in now. And they knew what they were doing and they planned this. And now look, like people don't want to work. People don't, oh, you shouldn't have to. Now you got young men feeling the same way. Oh, you shouldn't have to work so hard. Well, what do you expect to do? Like, this country is not built for lazy people. Lazy people will tear this country down. What's that saying? I said it before, and you've heard it before. Hard times made strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. And weak men make hard times. And it's a cycle. And we're at the end of the good time that we have made that men have made for the weak men. And now the weak men are about to make it a hard time because they don't want to work. To operate this country and for it to be successful, men have to work hard. It doesn't work any other way. So and that's why part of it is the fault of the government, because we have to have a political system and a setup where people see a goal. And if you don't see a goal anymore, if you can't, like they say, you can't go buy a house anymore, you can't have the American dream anymore, then people aren't going to work. So that's where we are. Let's let him keep cooking.
What else she has to add to this? But of course, yeah, Captain Obvious is at it again. Yes, it's behind a paywall. All right, you have to pay rent. Let's continue.
The things that every single person needs just to survive, just to not die,
Yes,
are paywalled.
exactly. Yes, that's what men.
Yeah,
Listen,
exactly.
men know this. All right, even loser men know this. All right, they know they could go to jail and get 3 hots in a cot. All right, so they have to pay the price for freedom. You have to pay the price to live in a capitalist society. Even in a society that's socialist, you still got to put in some elbow grease. All right, I want to hear what conclusion she draws, this person here, and stop smoking weed and eating weed gummies. All right, because this is crazy.
At that point, you going out and working is just to be able to continue surviving. And then what does that mean?
What?
We operate in a society of people in forced labor. And of course, you can end up liking your job and it being your passion, but still, what it means is that you literally cannot live without your job.
Oh man, I'm gonna let him keep going.
These people vote. These people vote. Ma'am, that's what you work for equality for. That's what you said you didn't want to get married for, and you don't need a man because you could do it. But now this is why the monetized dating marketplace is on fire, because young women like that gonna get that pussy up. I mean, listen, they gonna sell that pussy. They gonna let me smash. All right? They gonna let me smash. This woman's gonna certainly let me smash. All right? And she's gonna say I raped her body in order for her to survive, to get their basic needs. Also, she's very, very intelligent to realize you're participating in enforced slavery. Yes. All right, slavery has never ended. In fact, I have to ask you, you guys really, is niggas get offended when I say that, because they always think of chattel slavery, but that was just one form of slavery. There's all kind of forms of slavery, but slavery's never ended. All right, they just basically rebranded it for you, and then you go to work and go home and barely can survive off the basic needs. Now, here's the deal. Slavery is going on today, and none of you niggas are doing anything about it. There's still people participating in human chattel slavery, sex slavery, and so forth and so on, and you guys ignore it. And then you wonder why people have ignored you niggas being slaves for 400 years. Because you ignore modern day slavery as well. You won't even label it slavery. You'll say, well, they're happy and people get to go home and they get to have relationships. Well, they're engaging in forced or modern slavery as well, and you're doing nothing about it. You guys see Mexicans picking strawberries, all right, on the side of the road, getting paid pennies on the dollar, and you do nothing about it. So why do people care about your history of slavery when you don't even care about the modern day slaves, even yourself? Okay, so consider that for a fact. But she's even smart enough to realize you're participating in forced slavery, especially when you're doing a job you're not passionate about. And if you go back to yesterday's stream, Brian Tracy told you the keys to happiness. People are doing jobs that fulfill them. Most people are not doing jobs that fulfill them. All right, fuck chattel slavery. I don't care. Slavery comes in all forms. Just because you think yours was the worst, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't.
Facts. I can keep listening to him, but I'm gonna stop it because this is my video, not his. Shout out to CGA, Coach Greg Adams, The Free Agent Lifestyle. This man has wrote books, The Free Agent Lifestyle. I had that book a long time ago. Very good book, very good read. Go check it out. Oh, also, Angryman has a book. It's called the Angry Standard, I do believe. Forgive me if I messed that up. The Angry Standard. And then also Coach Greg Adams has De-Evolution. Go check that book out. I believe they are both on Audible. Not sure if the Angry Man's is on Audible, but check for it. All good books. All good books. I've read all of them, and they make good content. Like I said, these guys are great. Anton is awesome as well. I don't know if he has a book out. He's so busy doing so much other stuff. He's building houses. And I know how long and how much that energy that takes. But yeah, definitely go check them all out, y'all. Check them all out. Like I said in the beginning, I will rank these three. It's gonna be tough. I'm just gonna rank them by this is gonna be my criteria for ranking them. If I saw all three of them going live about the same topic at the same time, who would I watch? That's how I'm gonna rank them. If I saw all three of them on live, whose channel would I click on first? Whose channel would I click on second? And whose channel would I click on third? Because I'll probably watch all three, but which one would I watch first, second, and third? CGA first. CGA is number one in my book. Then it's definitely the Angryman. Angryman is number two in my book. It was close between him and CGA because Angryman goes Like he gets really in depth in the topic and makes you think of stuff that you didn't think of. So does CGA, to be honest. And then I listen to Anton. Anton also takes you there, makes you think, gives you a very business-minded explanation and a strong conservative view of things. All of them are conservative. Anton clearly conservative. Angryman clearly conservative. CGA is conservative, but he's less political. He tries to keep his show less about politics. I say that. I mean, but you can't avoid it sometimes. But I think he tries to stay off of the politics. But he does. I'm not saying he doesn't talk about it. So those are my three: CGA first, Angryman second, Anton third. That's my video. I gotta go in there and hang out with my wife. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Sign up for more. Subscribe to the channel. Help my channel grow. I really appreciate it. Just a simple subscription. I make good content. I try to. I'm learning. These three guys 1000% motivated me to get my channel. None more than CGA. CGA has been telling me to get a channel for the longest. So now I'm doing it. So here we are. Thanks a lot, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I gotta go.